And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the what is this called again? Damn it! It's too hot. Okay, the talk show about
Yeah,
everything. Damn it! The first thing we're going to talk about is it's too hot.
it's
It's
the
fucking
summer,
too.
man.
Jesus.
Today's show is brought to you by Deer Park Water. Drink a fucking lot of it right now.
Yeah, if you're any place that the heat is just like going crazy, I advise you to stay your ass in the house.
For
Um,
real.
eat some ice cream or some shit like that. If you don't have to go outside, don't fucking go outside because you're crazy.
There are exceptions, but we'll get to that in the first topic.
Oh, motherfuck you. Um. All right. Say what's up to people, Moto.
What's going on, everybody?
Prod. Say hello.
Good day. How's it going?
Good day.
God damn you. All right. So first
Oh,
topic.
God.
In Prodigy, you take the lead on this one. We're gonna discuss Pokemon Go and how it seems like everybody has turned into fucking crackheads because of this.
I would call us Pokemon masters, but if you want to call us crackheads, that works.
Oh my God.
Um, so, for those who don't know, it recently became available in parts of the world for Pokemon Go. There are ways for you, even if you are not in a region that currently has it, to get it. And you essentially are tasked with it's augmented reality. So you can walk around and Pokemon will show up, and then you flick your little Pokeball, let them to catch them, and then you can walk to designated locations, which are generally landmarks, and these could be gyms where you can battle on other trainers to take control of a gym, or you can go to like a Pokemart and get different supplies, and yeah. It is essentially augmented reality Pokemon in our world based on Google Maps. It's a lot of fun if you grew up with Pokemon and aren't old ass men. Um, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. A lot more. This is coming from somebody that has not played a Pokemon game in a few generations. I am really enjoying this, and plus, it is a great cardio workout if you need an excuse to go running for miles. How do y'all feel?
Modem Go. I can't with this dude. No. Nope.
It's I don't know. I feel like it's fan service at its finest, and it's making people like walk around and shit like that, and that's cool. Hopefully, the obesity rate goes down or some shit. But overall, I'm like, the people who are playing this shit now is playing it because it's on their smartphone, but they wouldn't have a DS and play the games like the actual Pokemon games, and that's weird as shit to me. Like, what all of a sudden people who did not give a fuck about new Pokemon games or even older Pokemon games or anything did not give a fuck about this shit. Now they're playing this shit. I give it about a week for the people who aren't actually fans and who are only doing this for the hype train and posting shit on Snapchat or Twitter or whatever the fuck ever. I give it about a week.
And Black.
I'm not saying anything, Prod.
Well, the simplest way I can put it is, as I've said, I haven't been super excited over Pokemon games in a long time. It's generally the grind of those games
Mm-hmm.
that kills the game for me. Uh, and so because of that, because of the fact that I don't generally get along with those, just the grind of the game, what this brings to the table is a chance for me to do what I'm normally going to do. For those who don't know, all you have to do is have the app running in your pocket. Like, have it active, running in your pocket. And when you come up to a Pokemon or a Pokemon's in your area, it will vibrate. So you pull your phone out, do what you got to do, and do it. It's the idea of I can do it in passing, and it's an actual reason, an actual game that I can play on the move. Most smartphone games for me aren't fun because they feel like weaker, like cut down versions of normal games. Whereas this, there's an actual reason for it to be a smart or a mobile game because am going to be playing it and going to want to be moving.
Hmm.
But that's just me.
Nah, I can dig it. Like I said, the game itself is, and I may not have said it, but the game itself is cool. But it's the
Oh, you played it?
no, from what I've seen,
Oh, okay.
and the idea of it, But personally, I'm probably won't download it, but it's cool for what it is, and for the real people who are enjoying it, that's cool. But like I said, I'm just seeing people who never gave a fuck about Pokemon or Nintendo, and then Pokemon Go comes out, and they're like posting Snapchats and shit. Call Pikachu, bitch, don't give a fuck. But the game is cool. The idea of it is cool. I like that.
Anything to get y'all like motivated to walk around, I guess it's cool.
You know what? I'm gonna put this in terms that Black can get. Star Wars or Star Trek, Black. You can recruit different crew members that you've seen from any of the seasons, different characters, different from books, movies, as you move around the world. You get in the fights and your phone is your...
It's not making a dent because I honestly don't foresee myself engaging into warp drive or some shit like that.
I'm gonna say this: if you drive in Pokemon Go, you deserve to have an accident.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I'm not gonna drive like, oh shit,
But
they
see,
want me to go to Dagobah. Let's go. Yes, I know what Dagobah is.
here's
Yeah.
the thing: they aren't telling you to go out of your way. It's the idea of, for me, it's an excuse. I'm somebody that hates cardio. I'm not gonna just go running to run. I'm sorry, that's just me. I'm not gonna do it. Saying that, this gives me enough of a reason to be like, all right, I can go run and I might find something. Or I can go for a drive and I might find something. That I'll actually do it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Again, I don't have an issue with that part. It's just like just looking at my timeline and like the reaction, like I gotta go and catch this damn thing. Like that's all I see. And that is the thing that's making me like, what? You tell me you wouldn't leave your fucking house if it wasn't for you to have to catch this damn thing? What the hell? It's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Like you
I
would.
mean, like, there's people walking around like just normal shit. Like one of my coworkers, he got into the beta or alpha or whatever the fuck it was, and he was playing it at work, and he fucking caught Charmander in a fucking back room with us. Like,
You don't have to be outside. And you
Right,
don't
right,
have
you
to
don't-
move around.
you don't necessarily have to be anywhere to like play the game, but like there's people taking this shit to the next level. Like, I'm about to quit my job, and I don't think anyone actually did this, but they're like, it's like damn near, I'm about to quit my job, fuck my life, I'm a Pokemon master now, I'm about to catch all these motherfuckers, and they're driving around and doing all this other shit. Like, you ain't never gave a fuck about this monument, this landmark ever in your life, and now you're here to play.
I
Now you're here to
can
catch
only
Pokemon.
imagine what it's like around here with all these landmarks. Oh my god!
Oh, if you see some of people's maps, it is amazing.
Like, could you imagine if you live in the city of DC with all the downtown monuments? There are some people out there catching heat strokes right now playing this game. Guaranteed.
But
Right.
that's a good thing.
I guess. Are we done with Pokemon?
Yeah.
But we got the Pokemon Go out of the way. I'm good.
I like the idea, like the concept. Don't like how people are like getting into it, I guess. Some people.
Gotta catch them all.
Pokemon.
Some like Pokemon Go be like, gotta catch a heat stroke. Summertime.
Right. Alright, so next topic, you obsessed. What was that? Oh, this is the article. Why is the article talking?
Look, don't ask questions.
Okay, so I guess you wanted attention next, Microsoft, because you started talking. Jeez, that's crazy. So, Microsoft makes it clear there is no longer such thing as an Xbox exclusive game. Now, I meant to post the other article to you, and I forgot about it because they came out and said that basically from now on, every Microsoft produced game would be a Play Anywhere game. But then there was an article in, where did it go? That apparently they changed the listing on the website to say anything that was shown at E3 this year. So people are confused about it. But did you hear? Did any of you hear about this?
I saw an article that was similarly titled to what you were talking about. I didn't read super in depth into it. Most of the stuff they showed at E3 this year, I'm pretty sure they basically said it was on PC.
Yeah, but no, the original posting was that all Microsoft Studio games would
I'm
be.
fine with that.
Yeah, which I'm fine with that too. Which is why, like, I wonder why the website made the slight change. Even though Microsoft didn't Phil Spencer come out and say that they're all going to be Play Anywhere.
I think so.
So, in any event, at least everything that you've seen that's going to be out in the next 2 years, you know for certain, is going to be on PC as well as on Xbox. Goes back for me. It goes back to what I said about the E3 announcement. I'm glad, I get to play these games on my PC and I don't have to commit to another piece of hardware. So it's cool with me. Plus, I just use my Xbox Live account on here, which, hey, it's free to sign up if you have a PC, Windows 10, to Xbox Live, by the way. So
yeah,
go ahead and get your account if you want to play the Microsoft published games. It's cool to me. Definitely cool. What do you guys think?
We. Alright, Prod, did you wanna?
I mean, I can be brief. I said this during E3. Microsoft doing this is why I think Xbox as a brand or Microsoft as a game developer, game publisher, however you want to look at it, whatever the term would be actually, is going to be successful. They recognize that the console war is a thing that is quickly becoming outdated, and if they really care about money, stop playing to the console war and just give your game to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always made their most money off of their software anyway. The box itself had lost them more money than made them overall. So
So,
But
Prod got the camera on and everything. Oh man, I gotta buy one.
no, you're
We talked about this, man. We talked about this in multiple variants across a few of our talk shows about everything. And Mike asked me, did I feel like there was no reason they were making it like less appealing to buy Xbox One, or there was no reason to buy Xbox One if you have a PC. And I also said, and vice versa, there's no reason to there's still a reason to buy an Xbox One if you don't have a PC. Like, you can still play the games for the Xbox One or whatever. So then we talked about them moving to a system where they're like coming out with a new console every year or something along the lines of that. When Microsoft first came out with the Xbox One, I was in love with the Xbox One. I wanted an Xbox One, Connect and all and whatever. And looking at it, I seen where they was going with this. The reason why I was so in love with the Xbox One is because it was a new experience on console. The technology they were using wasn't new at all. You know, speech recognition and all that other shit. But it was a new experience on console. So I see where they were going with that, and then especially when Phil Spencer took over things, the direction he's taking everything in is in a I can't think of the word right now, but it's, you know, let's say explorative or something like that. It's just wide-eyed. He's attacking things and coming up with new ideas and bridging gaps. I was talking about cross-platform playing when Mortal Kombat X came out, playing with people on different platforms with the same game. I was talking about all of that shit, and like now we're getting to that point. So instead of praising this, instead of saying this is a good idea, this is good for gamers, this is good for people that have an Xbox One and have a PC, I mean, people who have an Xbox One and people who have a PC that can now play together on certain games and whatever, people on the PC side of things, which I feel like it's a minority, are, you know, saying RIP Xbox, there's no reason to buy a console now, this is not, just buy a PC. And it's like, no, there's still a reason to buy a console, but, you know, it's even more of a reason for PC players, because PC players don't want to, not that PC players have more of a reason to buy an Xbox One, but it's more of a reason for PC players to play the Xbox games now, because y'all can buy them and get them on PC and be able to play with your Xbox friends without having to commit to Xbox Live and so on and so forth. And they're not trying to charge you to play on their exclusive platform.
Well, you do have to have Xbox Live to play their games. Because I do have to set up an account to play Killer Instinct.
Right, but you don't have to have gold.
Well, yeah, no, you don't have to pay. Yeah, now that you don't have to do the paid subscription.
Right, so they don't. It's like it's a win for gamers.
They learned from Games for Windows Live. Is all I'm
right.
saying.
And like I was arguing with someone about that. Like PC is a public platform. They shouldn't have tried to charge people on a public platform. Period. On their exclusive platform, I can see them having a paid subscription. So they're doing things right. And like I said, with anything that Microsoft is trying to venture into doing, if they do it right, it's going to work. This is one of those things. They are doing it right, it's going to work. People are still going to buy consoles. People are going to buy games on their store, which is going to get you both copies, and people are going to play together. So no matter what,
mentioned that too. Go ahead.
No matter what, Microsoft wins, and you know, people are going to upgrade to Windows 10 just to have this feature. People are going to, you know, still buy Microsoft games, which is going to increase sales for their published games. I don't see Microsoft losing in this.
Now, which would you prefer to buy it on, the Windows Store or Steam if they eventually get there?
Well, that's one of the things they said they were working on, and if it's not there yet, I think it's like coming soon. But
yeah, and I know what the holdup would be on Steam if right now.
it'll probably be like pricing or some shit.
I don't think Steam would want them to do just Windows 10 only.
I don't think that would be so much the problem. I think it would be more of an argument of the split.
Well, that too. I mean, well, the split's going to be natural. Gabe is going to want his piece of the pie.
You must tithe to Gabe.
Exactly. You have to.
And see,
I think that the Windows, because they're going to have to. You remember, Steam is a more open platform because you can do Steam on Linux and all
Right.
Windows. So I'm curious if they're going to try to hold that up because of that or not.
Well,
They're going to go ahead and be like,
it's only I would say they wouldn't hold it up and they would let it slide because it's only going to be like a handful of games out
No,
of.
because Gabe's an asshole, and
Well,
he
Steam,
he wanted to bury the Windows thing anyway because he didn't like
but
how they did things before.
the way Steam generally handles it, if I remember correctly, is like it's up to a developer. It's not up to like you don't have to meet those criteria. Like if you want your game to run for Linux, you have to develop it. You have
Yeah,
to make it.
but you know his history with the console makers. He's been an asshole to both.
But I
Sony
think
and Microsoft,
I think
and he hates Windows for some reason.
I don't think that he would go out of that much of a way to miss that much revenue, because I think he also recognizes how much people hate the Windows Store.
I hope he's not stupid.
But I think he recognizes how much people hate the Windows Store, and so he'd rather get his cut of the revenue.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to fucking use the Windows Store ever.
I understand that.
I don't know. I praise Microsoft for I don't know taking steps that should have been handled 5 years ago.
Yeah, I've always said that they should have been PC and console.
all they
because
really
were
had to
PC
do-
publisher.
All they
were
really had
already
to
a PC
all
publisher.
they really
That's
had to
why I
do
thought
was
it
drop
weird.
games for Windows Live, but they refused to do that.
Yeah, and that
so-
was all they had to do was just get rid of the like Windows.
Subscription, like not even just games with Windows Live. Don't make people pay subscriptions, and it would have been
No,
fine.
you need to get rid of games from Windows Live because that was a weird. But
Look, with Uplay still existing, I can't say shit.
with what? Yeah, Uplay. Oh my God, Uplay. By the
Like,
way, if you
well-
want Splinter Cell for free, it's free today.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to go download that. Hold on.
So go to Uplay and get
PC
Splinter
Master
Cell, the
Race.
original Splinter Cell for free.
Which Splinter Cell?
The original, the first one.
Oh, I'm good. I don't need to
PC
go back.
Master Race. Oh, this one.
Not a PC Master Race is a glorious place. I forget what our motto is. Hold on, I'll find that. Keep going.
Well, my question to y'all is, as people who own PCs, do you feel like there's still a reason to buy an Xbox One?
If you don't want to do
If
PC,
you didn't,
that's the thing. There's still people out there who still really don't want to be bothered with PC gaming. And that's cool. That's what consoles, like I've said, consoles always filled that need for people. Like it gives them a platform
So-
they feel comfortable with. That they don't.
if you
have
didn't
to.
have a PC mic, would you consider buying an Xbox One?
You're asking the wrong person because I was a PC gamer like for the longest
What?
before I even got.
Mike, you gotta pretend, man. Use your imagination. You don't have a PC. You don't have a PlayStation.
Okay, then that would go back again to you're talking to the wrong person too.
I-
The second thing I was gonna say is I'm also kind of a tech junkie, and
I'm not.
I could still see myself getting more into PC because the reason that I got into PC was because I used to hang around IT geeks at work, and they kind of like watching them work on PCs is kind of what got me. It wasn't even gaming; it was just working on technology. You know.
Hmm.
It depends what they want.
But yeah, that's what I feel too. Like if you
If-
really want that,
If
yeah.
you're somebody that says and really wants the best gaming experience, then there is not a reason to own an Xbox. Project Scorpio, any of that. There isn't. Unless your budget is within a very specific confines.
So,
If-
even with Project Scorpio specs, Project Scorpio isn't appealing?
As someone that owns a grand plus in cost computer, no, because it's not going to touch the performance of my computer.
Yeah, because his computer's
Really?
still better than Project Scorpio. That's the
That's
thing.
the- Like I'm like, if you're, it's the same thing I said to anybody. If you don't have a PC, like a high-end PC, or even if you're probably looking at a PC in the $600 to $800 market, wait for Scorpio. Like Scorpio might seriously be, in my opinion, worth the buy if it can do what they say it can. But beyond that, like once you step beyond that number, once you get up into the $1,000 range, you're gonna probably get better performance out of a PC, like across the board. Plus, it comes into what you can do at that point. Like with a PC, there is more that you can do, and you're gonna have an access to a wider range of games. just because you're not just compressed to the Microsoft platform. I think right now it's like how much you want to spend, and do you care about the other stuff beyond Microsoft games? And if you are willing to spend more than, I'll say, $800, then yeah, you should be on PC. Anything less than that, you probably could argue for one of the consoles.
And Scorpio would probably be the one that you would, if you're looking for performance off a console, because it's going to be more closer to that, like you said, that budget gaming PC, like slightly above a budget gaming PC, but probably.
And Modem, if you're wondering why I think that's a better strategy, YouTube isn't a great example of how we've gone from wide-reaching to niche markets. And what Microsoft has done, and I've already said this, but the Xbox One S, Project Scorpio, and PC are each one of their markets. They're targeting each market and giving you different price points, different, even down to different graphical fidelity, how the game perform. You're gonna look at, well, what do I want? How much do I want to spend? And then hit one of those markets. And it's just how the world's becoming. Targeting a niche market, a bunch of niche markets, is going to get you more money than just trying to make a catch-all.
You saying targeting a specific market would get them more money?
Yeah, because, for instance, like the people that don't want to spend a lot of money but want a game, you get the Xbox One S. I want slightly better performance, but I don't want to build it myself. Project Scorpio.
Okay.
You don't mind building it yourself. You don't mind going into an even more expensive territory. Desktop PCs. Microsoft has each one of these markets cornered to the point where the grandparent or parent wanting to buy their kid a console gets the Xbox One S. The kid that just got his first job and I'm a hardcore gamer might get the Project Scorpio. Or if they're maybe a little bit more forward thinking in terms of wanting to play so many games on another platform, they get the PC. Like, you're targeting so many different mindsets. It's the iPhone idea. You have the affordable iPhone, the standard iPhone, and then the uber expensive iPhone. And you just get people to buy into your ecosystem at whatever price point they want to buy into it.
Yeah.
And that's why it will succeed where Steam boxes failed.
And that was my big fear about the whole modular console thing, because that's a Steam box to me, and I don't want them to do the Steam box thing.
I don't think, because the Steam boxes for me were like, speaking from my own experience, because I built my PC, and like Battlefield 4 is what, like at this point, like 3 or 4 years old, something like that. I have a GTX 960 and a AMD Athlon X4 880K. I still can't in multiplayer on certain maps on the most optimized of settings keep a constant 60 frames per second on 1080p. It doesn't dip too low. It's not like I'm playing on 30 frames. It'll dip into like the low 50s and then go back up. So overall, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty fluid. But even on this, type of hardware and everything, I still can't keep a constant 60 frames. So the whole experience of it and building my own PC and everything, and still seeing what it takes to keep a constant, and I mean like no frame droppings for the most part, like out of like 99% of your frames, 1% may drop. It's the hardware needed to do that, and the cost and the optimizing of things yourself, because I even had to optimize Battlefield 4 for it to play right. And just so many things that come with PC. I still see the reasoning for having or buying an Xbox One over buying PC for certain people in certain markets to be very strong. And other people see like there's no reason to own an Xbox One now.
Yeah. Like, I'm in the process of...
You're never gonna beat convenience. I've always said, console's biggest strength is its convenience.
It's
I don't
convenience.
have to worry about.
If you're looking to buy an Xbox
And it's
One,
funny. I just want to interject real quick. It's funny as shit because the person I was arguing with about this, I said the exact same thing. You cannot beat consoles' convenience. It's more convenient than building a PC. I've built my fucking PC. It wasn't hard, but you have to know what you're doing. And you have to have some knowledge of things. Because you can easily fuck some shit up and be out hundreds of dollars. So, like, it's just more convenient. You know, all around. I said this.
I think it's the same age-old thing. It's like, it's more convenient up front, but like their conveniences, like I think it's also come down.
There are conveniences in PC, but you also have to remember you have to dedicate yourself to wanting to do that. And again,
or throw money at the situation.
Yeah.
Like, they're legitimately, you just get somebody else to build your computer, and they'll have that Steam pre-installed, and you just press install, buy and install, and you're good to go. Now, if something breaks, pay somebody else, and they'll come and fix it. Pay me. Hit me up on Twitter. I got you. Great. But yes,
they didn't even talk with me.
It's that idea. Like, I agree that there are a lot of conveniences to consoles.
Yeah.
But I think we're moving closer and closer to a point where consoles are gonna be more and more phased out. We'll get to a point where, like, it's not gonna be that bad for PCs in the general sense. Like, just for somebody to be able to buy a PC, but I think building is still one of those niche things. Like, it's the same thing. It's like anybody can buy a car, but there are always going to be those guys that want to build their own piece by piece. There's always going to be that percentage of people. Like, when people say, like, you have to build a PC to get into PC gaming, no, you don't. I know plenty of people that ain't never built a PC in their life and play PC games.
And see, my point is, I bought an 880K. I bought a GTX 960. I was talking with y'all when I've made the final decision. Like, no, I'm not gonna go get a $1,000 laptop. I'm gonna build a PC instead. I was talking with y'all about parts. I was talking about what I was thinking, and so on and so forth. Even with this hardware, I still cannot keep a constant, and maybe on low settings, but low settings is like PlayStation 4.
But that's the thing. Like, I say, if the consoles are convenient, then PCs are choice.
Right.
Like,
but my point is, I can't keep 1080p 60 frames per second with the hardware I have.
That might not be your hardware.
That's what I want.
That might be Battlefield.
Yes, and it might be Battlefield, but it's also my hardware, because I was thinking about this, I was thinking about upgrading to a different CPU, which I would have to swap out the motherboard and blah, blah, blah. But my graphics card isn't meant to push Battlefield 4 on its optimal settings above 60 frames a second.
Since the optimal requirements for the game is a GT 780, it should be. Actually, no, it's not a GT 780. What are the Battlefield 4? Because
I'll look it up. But no, I think, like, the thing with PCs, there's so many factors as to why you might drop. Like, again, there are very
660 would be the recommended card for Battlefield 4.
I guess the easiest way I can put it to you is, with something like a PC, for you to get like a permanent 60, it either has to be optimized pristinely well, or you have to be able to just destroy a game hardware-wise by such a wide margin that even in the worst-case scenario, it can stack up. Like, I don't know, going back to 2010 or so when StarCraft 2 was coming out, people always bench StarCraft at like late game team fights where both people have 200 supply worth of units, so 200 resources worth of units maxed out. Everybody just runs in and everything shoots off because it's been known to kill, no matter how powerful your computer is. It's so many particles, so many effects, so many things going on that it will tank. It will hit. It will. In that moment, your thing, even if it flashes for half a second, can't keep up, and you'll see that blip.
Yeah.
Like that is the thing about PC. Like it's the thing is,
it's just like I was saying. It's just I paid. Let's say I roughly paid around $600 for my PC. I have an SSD that I play that Battlefield is installed on. I have the 880K that has 4 threads. I have the GTX 960. Everything. Like my specs is better than both the PS4 and the Xbox One. But I still, like on the highest settings, still cannot play 1080p with a constant, very minimum frame dropping. And that's, to me, that says a lot. So I see where consoles being convenient because of pricing and being convenient because of not having to build it and so on and so forth, and you just buy it at the store, bring it home, plug it up, you play. My whole PC building experience, like buying a case, and like you said, you could buy like pre-built shit, which is cool. But if you're building it, it comes with a little bit more hassle. Like the first case I had to swap out cases because the first case I had, my side panel couldn't close, and that bothered me. Like I know people play off of test benches and stuff like that, but it bothered me. My computer side panel couldn't close, so I had to swap out the computer case. And the reason why I had to it couldn't close is because the GTX 960 that I have was coming out the side by like half an inch or something like that. So I had to buy a bigger case. But it's certain things come with a certain hassle, and even with my specs. And then the reason why this is a problem, or something that it kind of bothers me, is because with these specs, I can't play higher than 60 frames on the settings because it bothers me because it's like playing on a console. Like I might as well be playing Battlefield 4 on PS4 for low settings. You know what I mean? And I wanted to play on high settings, on the highest of settings, like 1080p Ultra, And I know I'm actually playing it on my TV. It's like
okay.
Under 10 milliseconds. Native resolution is 1080p and 60 hertz. And the milliseconds is what really matters to me.
Yeah, I mean, as I've said many times before, PCs are better because technically they're going to always run things better, but it takes work and dedication.
Right.
You can get what you want. You just need to start tweaking things.
Well, that's the other thing. I had problems with it because I had to go into the optimized settings for Battlefield and optimize the settings for Battlefield for it to play right, because when I was playing it, the frames would start off at like 80 plus frames or something like that, and then it would drop down. And then it would go like as low as the 40s and 30s and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I had to go like adjust the settings myself and make it use multiple threads and so on and so forth. Then my frame rates went back up. And that's crazy. Like I've never had to do that with any game. You know what I'm saying? So that was weird for me.
That's what you do. That happens in PC.
Right. I mean, like you said.
Hey, remember I told you his experience with Batman?
Right. And I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing something right, and I can't have higher frames on the highest of settings. But as for right now, it's like that hassle, right? That's what I'm talking about. Right now, it's like looking like I can't do it on my current hardware, and if I can, I don't know how. On console, what you get what
what
you
you
pay
buy,
for.
you get what you pay for, basically, out the box, so to speak. I
Right.
mean, you do the same on PC, but it's with the caveat is that you have to make sure that you have all the variables to get certain things, or that you know how to set your game to get certain performance and things like. I
And
mean,
I think it's
it's sneaky.
my graphics card because my CPU, like I was monitoring my CPU and my graphics card, and my graphics card will go up to, you know, like 100% and so on and so forth, but my CPU won't go to 100%. So my CPU isn't bottlenecking my GPU.
I wonder why, because like I said, I mean, you should be able to max it out on a 660 because it's not spectacular system requirements, but at the same time, um, all types of shit variables can come into play. It PC gaming.
Right. And it's really weird because like I also play Warframe on my PC. On Warframe, I get like damn near 200 frames on 1080p on their highest settings. Like everything is maxed out on their settings, and I get well over 160 frames. Like I get like into the 180s. Battlefield 4, I can't get a constant 60. And like the highest it'll go up to, I think it's like 74.
Yeah, Warframe. I mean, it happens. It's trust me, it happens.
No, I believe it, and it wasn't for me. It's not a. I'm not trying to say like that it's harder on PC or something. What I'm more or less saying is it's a total different experience and a total different amount of dedication to optimizing and getting things the way it's supposed to be. And like I said, Warframe versus Battlefield. Warframe, I'm getting over 150, FPS. Battlefield, I can't even get a constant 60. And like Warframe is on the highest setting. It's maxed out. Battlefield is like,
What
huh?
I was gonna say, like, doing that. The issues that there's, like, you have to think of, well, texture quality, draw distance, how many things are actually going on screen, how many particles, how is that CPU bound or is that GPU bound? Like, there's so many other questions
Right.
that to pinpoint it, like, you literally have to go like a game by game basis as to, this is why this one is running well, this is why this one isn't running worse. And it can even go down to drivers. An example would be Paragon. Paragon has gone from me never dropping a frame to, like, right now, a game, as it's gotten further in development, more frame drops, occasional freezing, same settings, nothing's changed, sometimes lower settings, but it still has it. It's one of those things where it's like PC. How to if I can explain it, like, it's like with PC gaming, you have to recognize that with any Android phone, you may or may not be able to run an app. With any iPhone, you can, because all the iPhones are pretty much the same. And that's what the issue is. Like, you have to go like, well, what are my specs? How does that compare to the game that I'm playing, and why could I be having an issue? Which again goes back to the convenience of a console, where you don't have to think about any of that
Right.
at all. Just plug it in and be like, Battlefield 4, I'm going to play that.
Yeah.
Warframe, I'm going to play that.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's all about what you want out of it. That's why I like when people, I don't get why console people ever got into the whole performance argument in the first place.
Well,
Um,
well, here's the thing. It's the assumption. It's like this. It's when two people are arguing in a corner, and then they don't expect somebody else to get into the argument, even though they feel that they have relevant information.
Right.
Like, no, which one's better, Xbox or PS4? Xbox or PS4? Xbox or PS4? And then this dude that's third party has no reason to like input himself into the conversation, because in reality the conversation isn't. You could argue the conversation was console performance, not just platform performance. Some people are trying to be helpful. Some people are trying to be know-it-alls, but will come out and say, well, really, this is the know-it-all, obviously. Well, in fact, you can get better performance on the PC Master Race. So...
No, I'm talking about from the point of all of a sudden, like I said before PS4 and Xbox One came out, there was never a real conversation, unless you were that PC person. No one held the conversation about teraflops and
because people buy into
rates and stuff like
more.
that.
People buy into like I said this, like I don't even know if I said this. Somebody else said this. How many people actually know what teraflops are?
Yeah.
You may know what a terabyte is because of your hard drive.
Right.
But what do you know what a teraflop is? Why is it important? Why does higher mean that it's better? Maybe lower means that it's better. Do you know any of that information? No.
And I was just gonna say when it comes down to graphics cards and what's better than what, it's like I really don't know much about that.
And I'd argue it's not even always what a higher number is better. That doesn't 100% of the time rule out.
Like some low-end cards are better for video production. Some cards are better for game performance. Some cards are better for...
But like even when I was overclocking my CPU, I'm going into the settings, and I'm like, what is C6 mode? What the fuck does that even mean? And I go because of who I am, I go Google that shit. Okay, this is what this is. But then I'm like, what the fuck is SVM?
And that's the thing, like, it's the lack of convenience. Like, a PC will just be like, here's just a list of stuff. If you want to know what it is, you can go figure that out on your own. We're not going to really, like, if you turn this up, then you need to adjust this, and that adjusting that will actually mean that this might change, so you need to fine-tune X, Y, and Z and make sure you're getting enough voltage. Otherwise, it might not be stable. Well, there might be, like, they don't ever... To me, it's fun, and again, it goes back to the type of person. I'm the type of person that will break something and have fun trying to figure out why it's broken and how to fix it.
Yeah, see, you sound like me. That's why I got into it, because like I like the idea of trying to figure out some of that stuff.
But I know plenty of people that I just want to play my goddamn video game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's why I got a console when I got the PS3, was because sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. Sometimes I just want to just pick up and play and not have to worry. So I got it to balance. It's like some things, yeah, I am going to go that way, but other times I just don't care enough, because I've never been one to care that much about graphics and shit like that anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
Don't worry, Black. We'll get you.
No, you can't. You have to remember, you had me, and you lost me slightly. So yeah, I gotta. So yeah, but I mean, like again, I like both. They both have their places. For me at least, but I never tell people that you should or you have to. You know, I think it's nice to have one of each, but if you don't, you ain't, your life's okay. It's okay.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. That
do
you
what you wanna do. What is that from? Hold up.
Who knows?
It's probably something 90s.
Yeah, more than likely.
By the way, did you disappear because you had to catch a Pokemon?
No, I would never do that.
He probably walked.
Yeah, he would.
No, I was calm
to fucking get himself
I was called.
A fucking like I don't know what's the name of Pokemon.
Modelman Black and wait. I gotta go catch this Pikachu outside my house right now.
Right, exactly.
All right, since y'all want to be funny.
Anyway, nope, you ain't going there. Next topic.
Look, that
So,
Pikachu
Evolve
is
will become
300
free
meter.
on Steam tomorrow.
That Pikachu is 100 meters around me. I'm not fucking walking 300 feet to find a goddamn thing in the middle of a show.
He is, bro. Don't lie to
Guarantee you
us.
after this show he's going to do that because it's getting
No,
late
no.
too. The sun's
It's
going
way,
down.
It's way too
You
hot.
gonna do it. You gonna do it.
You talking to the motherfucker? Look, nighttime comes. My grandma taught me you lock your doors. You in for the night. You chill. You don't get shot.
You're gonna be like, I'm about to stream. I do need to get something to eat. Might as well go catch
Let's
this.
please don't talk about. I don't want to talk about streaming right now. Fuck Fury. Fuck that game. Fuck that.
I have to play it because.
Oh, speaking of which, if you have a PlayStation 4, the game is free. Fuck that game. It's a great game. Fuck it though.
All right. But again,
Sorry.
if you evolve, if you want to play it, you can get it free now on Steam.
Speaking of free to play, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Very quickly, to everybody out there that was talking shit about Dead by Daylight, go play Evolve. The games are relatively similar in premise. One, Evolve should have launched it free to play because then all the cosmetic shit would have actually blown over. Two, the game is still a good game. I just need more people playing so that they can get through the learning curve. I didn't buy the game because I wasn't about to buy a game that I know nobody else was playing. I ain't about making friends like that. But no, with the game being free to play, the game also is going to have a lot of people playing it. There's no reason why you shouldn't own that game. Trying to think of what else went free to play because we mentioned those two. Oh, to everybody on PlayStation 4 as well. Paragon is free right now. Download that shit.
Also, Evolve is going to be free on the consoles too. So.
Oh no! Did they change that?
Apparently, after this, what they're doing right now is tomorrow begins the beta test for PC. It's the beta era, but once the beta period is over, they're going to put it on PS4 and Xbox One as free to play.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to play it on PC or don't have a PC, you can just wait and.
Could you link
play
me
for
that
free.
article?
Huh?
Could you link me that article?
Yeah,
It's
I'm
on,
putting it
Twitter
in
feed.
now.
Or the
Because
Twitter chat.
as for me, as for the stuff I was looking at, they hadn't clarified. So that's actually really interesting to hear. I mean, I expect them to, because that'd be a really dick move. Hey, a console player, pay us money for our game.
Yeah, pay us for this game that people keep
It
telling
was
you
relatively
sucks.
dead already.
Yeah.
Well, I find this funny. As for one, I feel like they tried to pull some dick moves and charge people for a lot. And like you say, it should have shipped free to play, and then this wouldn't have been so bad. So on top of it, now in their letter to us on why they're doing this, they're for me, I feel like they're basically saying, we understand you all feel like we fucked up, and we'll say,
I will be the first consumer, whether or not people did over fucking react to that shit.
yeah.
Because you feel that there's not enough content in the game does not mean that you can turn around and be like, well, the developer should give us everything for free. Like, was some of that shit probably cut from the game? Maybe. But to say all of it was, and to then say, well, fuck the developer for something that I would have to buy.
And like my issue with it was the pricing model. I did not like their pricing model for what they were giving us. And I like this model a lot better. And I feel like they were saying, we feel like we understand y'all feel like we fucked up. We want to make it right. This is the steps we're taking to improve our game for you and us. And I can dig that.
My only issue is that it took them so long to figure that out.
Right.
Well-
Right. This is like 2 years later, right?
Here's the thing. I think
Yeah.
they also took the right course of action. Like, for those that haven't been following Evolved, there's more monsters, there's more versions of certain monsters, and they've added a lot more content to the game. To the point now when they go free to play, to anybody out there that was saying there's not enough content, well, now you have literally, what, a year plus and stuff?
And see, with them going free to play, to the people that bought their season pass, that bought the game, that supported them and still plays, they should get something.
They get, now, I can't confirm what it is. They apparently get founder status, which, whatever the fuck that means.
Okay. They're going the NVIDIA route.
Are they going to give them the DLC? Is the DLC a part of the free-to-play, or?
Oh, well, everything's free-to-play, is what it sounds like.
So all the maps?
Basically, everything that's been released for Evolve up to this point is going to be free-to-play. Is what I interpreted the letter to mean. Might have misinterpreted it.
And then, like, how is it going to work? Are they actually going with the free-to-play model, or are they going to charge us $15 to play their newest maps and all that shit? Or are they going to charge us for an update or some shit like that?
I think if they're smart, especially, and I still say this, cosmetic is the right way to go with Evolve. Like, people will pay money to customize their shit.
Right.
So,
yeah, like Warframe, for instance. Warframe doesn't really charge you for any new stuff when it comes out. It's just the cosmetic things. If you want to get the whatever the game currency is to unlock things, stuff like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where they should just keep it as a true free to play model. Don't, because if they try to do that, well, we're making new maps, but we're gonna charge. No.
I make the point of I think they should still do both. The way I say this is somebody like me. I'll take Street Fighter for instance. I didn't pay for Street Fighter, but I still want. But the model of Street Fighter is you can play in game to unlock characters, or you can pay money.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Well,
just don't make it disproportionate. Don't be like, hey, if you play 100
like map packs, like okay, now we're coming out with new maps, you gotta pay. You know what I mean?
Oh well, yeah, give them.
I'm talking about unlockable stuff.
Yeah.
Just unlockables, okay, because there are going to be people who are going to want to fast track and unlock certain things.
Just look at Overwatch. How many crates have you bought?
None.
Oh, I'm not buying a crate.
Nah.
I don't do crates. I don't do random channels.
I don't do the crates. I don't do VC. I don't do that stuff right there. Card packs, all of that. So, it's not within me to spend money to unlock stuff. That's just me. I don't knock anybody who does it because.
All right. Okay. Can I talk about that really quickly? And this might take us into another topic.
Yes, I was about to hit the segue.
All right. So what this capitalizes on, what crates capitalize on, funnily enough, ties back into our very first topic of Pokemon. As a person that grew up playing Pokemon cards. Trading card games are kids well, I should clarify, 90s kids gambling. 90s, early 2000s was the equivalent of gambling. You're paying $4 and hoping you get first edition holographic Charizard out of the pack.
Yeah.
Now, saying that, the kids of 2016, we've upgraded to actual gambling.
Yes, actual gambling. Woo! This is gonna be fun to talk about because I've been talking about this all week. And this just gets funnier and funnier as I talk about it. So, CS:GO. How many have you played CS:GO, Modem?
His mic's muted.
Nah, I haven't played CS:GO.
Okay. I know you've played it, probably.
Fuck that game. Yes.
Don't be like fuck that game. CS:GO.
Look, I'm bad enough at aiming when your game isn't realistic to the point where I gotta memorize fucking shot patterns. Keep going.
Yeah, if you don't want that type of experience with your shooter, stay away from that. Stay away from Red Orchestra. Stay away from Armor in a way too.
Fuck
Yeah.
that too. But keep going.
Yeah, because there's no aim assist and all that shit.
Look, I don't need aim assist. I just don't need it when I fire my gun. I got to remember that it goes up and to the left, or
Well,
maybe
yeah,
down
because
slightly
that's
right.
the way the gun is built. You must do it accurately.
When you have 50 guns in your game,
Hey, you at war, soldier.
go fuck yourself. Back to CS:GO. What's relevant is not how the game plays, but the fact that you get crates.
Now, these crates are interesting because they don't work like traditional crates. You can purchase keys to open these. I forget how much it is.
About 250 depending on the crate.
Yeah. But there's an issue, first of all, with the way that the key system works because someone seems to think that it's more of a gambling system and it works more as a slot system type of thing because you can just get another key and go back in. I believe you kind of re-roll the crate, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's imagine like, scroll wheels where you're just like scrolling and it stops on something. It opens up the crate and then spins like they're saying, like a slot machine almost.
Yeah.
And you can get anything from like knives that people will buy off of you for thousands of dollars
Yeah.
to an insignificant gun that's worth little to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to actually pull up some information.
And
about
basically, if you don't like what you rolled, get another key, spin the wheel again. What does that sound like to you, Moto?
Gambling.
It's a slot machine, right?
Right.
So now Valve is being sued or being investigated and possibly sued for this because of the way the system is set up. Because the government's trying to see, are they actually really facilitating gambling? Flash to T. Martin and Pro Syndicate, who decided that they want to share with us gamers this wonderful site that they found. This is their exact words. They found the site where they allow you to constantly buy opportunities to roll certain crates.
Can I correct you really quickly?
Huh?
Can I correct you really quickly?
Go ahead.
All right, so I have this kind of on screen with me. You can see my Steam inventory from the little bit I've played CS:GO. I could go to a website and say I wanted to offer up my shotgun skin and all these different skins I have, and as you can see, they have different prices. They go into a pot. Everybody's just like, it's like, credit card.
It's crap shooting.
Where everybody throws everything in, and then it's whoever the wheel stops on gets the entire thing.
Yeah, it's crap shooting. It's roulette. If I roll the dice and it rolls on my number, boom, I win. Or if I pick the number on the roulette wheel and it lands on the number that I put my money down on, boom, I win. Gambling. Gambling, people. It's straight up gambling.
So, in lawyerese speak, because you are not technically doing this for money, it's not technically gambling, even though there's a place that you can cash out for it. But
it's
again,
gambling, Prod. Money is being spent.
I'll put it to anybody and everywhere. The issue becomes with lawyer speak is there's now lawyers that are on their ass to prove that what they're doing is directly tied to.
Because if you paid at any point for any of these things, and then you're putting them up, you just cashed in chips. You just got chips.
And how to explain this?
Chips.
I agree. And yes, you're gonna get caught up.
Yeah. Now,
because I got 5
cents. Told everybody about this wonderful site. Go ahead, do it. They showed people how they would try it. They would spend money on the site. They were spending money and getting these things and betting them, and they would win big prizes sometimes. Sometimes they lose, but they score tremendous things. And it's such a great game. Then they started putting up videos and I kid you not, T. Martin actually put up a video that told people how to make $1,300 in 5 minutes
It
off
is.
the site.
It is for all intents and purposes. That's what makes. If you don't want it to look like a gambling scheme, maybe don't make a video that very much looks like you're gambling.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
it
telling me I
literally-
could tell you how to make money off these chips here.
It's literally like, I could show you how to play blackjack, and if we go to, I might be able to win you $13,000, maybe, on a good night.
So, this magical site that they found, they're promoting it. Now, one of the problems with this magical site, and I've actually went to the site, and if you actually go to the rules, they're very, very loose rules as far as who can get in. First of all you need to do to join the site is to have a Steam account. So there's no sign-up sheet for the site where you have to verify age or anything. Now, there is a statement that says, like, we expect you to be 18 or older. Doesn't say they require, doesn't say that you have to verify. Just that whenever you use the site, that you are being honest about being 18. Okay. So that's their loose legal protection. Problem is, a lot of their people on the site were people who follow them, and a lot of people who follow them aren't 18. They're under 18. And they were using the site. Now, what makes it worse is that in the midst of all of this illegal gambling by underage people on this system that's already under investigation for possibly being a major company facilitating gambling unlawfully, come to find out that T. Martin and Pro Syndicate own this site. Now, what's wrong with them owning this site? Thing is, they were selling this site to people under the guise of, hey, we just found something. So, and I need to correct myself because I said racketeering, I think, on Chase's podcast. What I meant to say was profiteering, because racketeering is more strong arm stuff. Profiteering is you pretending to not have any clue about this product. You're just saying, hey, I tried this shit, and it's great. You should buy it. Basically grifting, hustling people when you're the actual person who's facilitating the product to get paid off of it. That's what they were doing. Now, that's wrong because by FTC law, anytime you're promoting a product, you have to put a disclaimer that you're getting paid by it if you're profiting off it. If you don't, you're breaking that federal law. So, what they've done is that they've twice broke federal law. And they're looking at the possibility of getting in some serious trouble. Now, I'll let you go because it gets deeper, and I need a moment to laugh at both of them because they're fucking idiots. So, either one of you, Modem, Prod, if you guys want to talk about the other stuff that's been going on after this all came to light, please, I need to laugh.
It's oh my god, it is okay. First, it's retarded that they even thought this was a good idea to begin with. First off, now I understand that the game of YouTube and making money on YouTube has changed, and now you're trying to make money by other ventures and shit, which is totally fine. And I understand exactly why he didn't disclose T. Martin is the owner of this gambling site, and there hasn't been any statistics or anything like that of what their player base actually is. But let's say, for argument's sake, mostly kids go to their site and actually gamble on this shit. I wouldn't tie my main brand to this either. It's shady as fuck. It's wrong. but I understand why he didn't directly tie himself to this. It's not even on his main channel. It's on his second channel. And he didn't even go, I own this website. Here you go, guys. Check this out. So that part I understand, even though it was shady as fuck and it was wrong. What I don't understand is why the fuck didn't they protect themselves? Because even though this is shady and wrong, they could have very easily have made the same amount of money legally. Because even if they allowed kids or who the fuck ever to play on their website, if they had all the legal, writings and everything in place, they would be covered, and the responsibility would fall on the user. And they did not have this. And they had time to fix this shit because there were other incidents where, the Microsoft paying people for positive Xbox One reviews,
Yep.
Shadows of Mordor, paying people for not paying people, but not giving people copies of the game unless they promise to give a positive review.
Well,
Like there's been
only say positive things.
right. But there's been multiple things where they're like, you have to disclose this information. And T. Martin and Syndicate at any fucking point in time, within this time, before this shit blew the fuck up, could have put in their videos, yo, this is our website. We own this shit. We're promoting this shit.
The sad thing is they didn't even have to admit, they didn't have to even admit to owning it still. All they had to do was like, we're paid by this company to promote it. That's all they had to say.
Well, here's the thing.
But my point
There's a
is,
step beyond that.
They would have been protected. They would have had some kind of protection.
So let's gonna take this piece by piece. First off, I don't know which direction I want to attack this one first. You're stupid. I'm just gonna start off with that. Mainly because the choices that you made towards the site, technically you're in the right, but you know that you're in the wrong, especially in today's day and age, where, especially with the FTC's new rules. Saying that, I want to touch on specifically why they shouldn't have done this with their site specifically, whether or not they said they were sponsored. There is a very specific reason why in any type of sweepstakes, giveaway, what is the other one, or any type of gambling, there's always a clause that if you are in any way associated with the thing, you are not allowed to participate. It is the idea, because I believe Pro Syndicate has come out and stated, I have to verify that, don't tell me it, has come out and stated that he did fix one of his things. One of them were fixed. Because they have access to the back end where the algorithms are run, they can fix games.
Right.
It is literally like saying, I'm going to steal your money. It's highly morally questionable. It may not legally be wrong, but it's one of those things that everybody else does for a very specific reason. Now, saying all of that, they're stupid because after all this is said and done, their reasons, or at least T. Martin, I don't want to go Pro Syndicates. Pro Syndicates seem to be a little bit more like, look, I fucked up. I'm going to claim that I'm going to own up to the fact that I fucked up. It's not on y'all. I'm just going to say it's my fault.
Actually, just to say this, he kind of is now. He's making that turn. Because at first he was like vehemently denying it. He actually put up a tweet Saturday saying like, look, I got screwed on that site too. I lost money playing this game.
So I'm gonna put this out there to anybody in legal trouble like this. The first thing you shouldn't do is use any type of social media or make a statement until you've contacted a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Just pro legal advice. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because pretty much you made the case easy as hell now that you've said either way, one way or the other. But
Oh, and you saw his other tweet, right?
I'm not really in the mood to read their tweets, but
He said that he apologized, saying that he will now be more transparent with people and not lie to them again anymore.
So here's the issue I have.
So,
Am I saying Syndicate's ain't that much better? No, but it's better than the phoned-in, half-assed apology that T. Martin put up as an excuse of a video. For those that have not seen it, I would recommend going to watch it.
well, just know that it's not. Did he put it back up on the site?
He took it down, but I believe he put it back up.
I
Unless
know
it's
people, of
down
course,
again.
copied it. This is more to your point about how you don't say shit on the internet when you're in trouble. These fools have been putting these tweets and things up, these videos, and then taking them down. But you know someone's captured that already.
Yeah.
So you're going to be legally bound to the statement. You idiots. Fucking dumb.
And you see, this also goes back to my original point. At any fucking point in time before this shit blew up, the night before this shit blew up, they could have changed all of this and said
Here's the,
blah 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 blah.
well, here's the issue with what their site is. Like, because it's a gambling site, there's no way for them to do that because they would need to have all of their users verify their identity almost immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's the same reason why if you try to go into a casino, or if you try to, in certain casinos, I could take it beyond even just a casino. There's a bowling alley where I live
Yeah.
that after a certain time starts serving alcohol, and if you are under the age of 21, you can't get in because they card you at the door.
Right.
Yeah, we have one of those.
The point I'm making is, like, for them to do, they had to, from the ground up, basically say, for you to use this site, we have to have in some way, shape, or form verify your identity. It's not like these porn sites. I'm gonna just go there where you can be like, yeah, I'm 21, enter.
Yeah.
Where at the end of the day, it's the way the licenses. You're not doing anything that is specifically illegal beyond watching content that you're not supposed to. That is completely on you. The act of gambling, which in the United States has far bigger issues because you're not supposed to gamble in the United States. Well, not outside of certain places that have been granted that. Yeah, they're just free gambling for anybody. Like I said, I'll do this really quickly. Right now, I can go, just to kind of prove a point about how easy this is. I can go to the site, click sign in through Steam.
Yeah.
It's gonna pull up all my stuff, and I'll be back in a moment. I don't want to be doing all this online, but I can get into the thing and use
Yeah,
the
he's
site.
in. Once he does that, he's in.
Like, just to give you an idea of how quick it is, I'm going to my email. Like, while we're having a conversation, I can sign up and get into the point where I'm using the site. And this is something that literally just requires you to be able to read basic English. A 4-year-old could do this. Anybody with a basic reading comprehension. And guess what? I agree that all I have to do is check this box. I agree that I am 18 years of age. Click submit. I apparently have to add some more information, but beyond that, I add a couple of pieces of information and I'm done and ready to go. It's kind of ridiculous that it would be the equivalent of literally you're driving to Las Vegas and they're like, is everybody in your car old enough to gamble? They say yes, and you can just go wherever you want. That is essentially the equivalent of what they're doing. Gambling is one of those things, because it is completely illegal for anybody under a certain age to do it at all, to even, I don't know, I believe be on the premises, but I'm not 100% sure. But because
Yeah, you're not supposed to be in a casino. Like, if it's a casino hotel, you're limited access to
which is the casino.
those gambling areas. Even, like, you can go get something to eat. You can go to your room. You stay the fuck away from this goddamn casino, because at any time somebody could try to make the claim that you let that kid gamble. You know, so they restrict you. You cannot know you're under a certain age, you're not going anywhere near the casino area.
For real.
So, yeah, but no, the site made it way too easy, and
They're making it too easy.
the thing is, see, this is the thing that's going to be really dicey. This is why I don't think they'll get away, because it's tied with Steam. Even if you clear Steam of being guilty of facilitating a system within a game that's akin to gambling, they've taken it a step further and turned the thing into pure gambling by having the whole people put money in the pot and then whoever's name get drawn gets it type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if Steam didn't do it, they did. And since you can use Steam accounts to do it, Steam's still kind of tied in. Therefore, what do you think Gabe's going to do? You think Gabe's going to be like, yeah, we shouldn't have did that. We're going to take the onus on this and take part of the rap along with these guys? Or do you think Gabe and them is going to figure out a way to be like, no, we'll serve these two people up, because I don't think Gabe's going to try to lose his company. Do you?
Nah, I definitely don't see that.
If he can find a way to roll on those dudes, he's going to roll on them.
But yeah, current shit just going on.
The fact that the website is even still up
Here's the
says
thing.
a lot.
Well,
this
they
is the
kind of,
thing.
if they took it like immediately down, I don't think it matters at this point, because all those assets they still can get access to if the government were to issue charges. So
I were to make a statement, I don't think they're going to get arrested. Saying that, I think they're going to get fined into oblivion. Not going to get arrested. They will owe way than they have.
Right.
I see. I don't know if that, because again, the Valve thing is the key factor to me, because, like I said, I don't think they're going to do significant time. If they do, they'll do the general Fed crime, 2 years maybe. They probably
like probation,
and then have it commuted, maybe.
Probably like 2 years probation. Some shit like that.
Like 2 years probation. But I feel like there's going to be some type of indictment, for sure.
I don't think so.
Well, no, for them to get 2 years probation, they have to get indicted, and then they have to go to court.
True.
Yeah. So
If they do get indicted, they probably have like 2 years probation, some shit like that.
yeah,
But
I think minimal, if they do time, it'll be 2 years, and it'll get commuted. I don't think they're gonna make them do the time.
Hello?
yeah, now we hear you.
Hey,
I don't even think. I just don't think the crime is that severe.
oh, it is. Gambling is a federal.
No. Gambling is severe. What I'm saying is, this whole CSGO Lotto thing is like more of a scam to me than it is just straight gambling. You know what I'm saying? It's not like.
See, that's the thing. It's not a scam, because they're doing a legal business illegally. It's not a scam to have that site. Now, the scam part is them not admitting that they owned it while promoting and trying to sell it. Because again, like I said, that's profiteering.
Yeah.
But facilitating a business in which you allow underage, you're breaking COPA, the Child Online Protection Act.
Well, no, excuse me.
Hold on, you went out real quick.
Yo, Mike muted himself with something.
Hello, can you hear me?
No, we can.
No, they technically have something in their terms of service that protects them from COPA. Technically. Saying that the issue isn't with COPA so much as you allowed underage people to gamble.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
well, see, that's
wait,
they
Brian,
beat COPA
Mike
and
again.
at the underage gambling. So there's too many layers, I think, for them not to get punished on some level.
But see, okay. First off, they're young, they're white, they're internet stars. They
Government don't
have
care
money.
about no fucking YouTube people. Don't. So that's not a caveat.
I wouldn't say they don't, because they're going to use them in some way. They're going to have some kind of community service, some kind of campaign, or why this is bad, something like that. There's multiple levels. If they were to get indicted, I do not think they would serve time in any sense. I don't even think they would give them time. Like, you would have, we're going to give you 2 years in jail, but you're not even going to have to serve that. I don't even think they're going to give them jail time.
That's why I
They're
said
gonna-
commute. That's why I said commute.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they would still have to give them, jail time. But nah, you don't got to serve that. But like, I don't even think they'll give them jail time. If anything, it would be like probation and don't do this again, major fine. But I don't even think. I think there's a good chance it won't even go that far. I think they'll just, you have to pay this amount of money and we'll leave you alone. I think that's where it's gonna go, because it's really not that big. Because
You say that, but it really is.
But
It's
see,
not big
the
because
thing
we
about
don't
it
think
is,
so.
no, it's not that. I'm saying it because of that. I'm saying it's not that big because a YouTuber, an unknown YouTuber, found this shit out and made this public, and then everybody else started blowing this shit up. If it would be different if the government was like, this site is getting so much fucking traffic and making so much fucking money, yo, this shit is illegal. It's not like that. It's like T. Martin, kid superstar on YouTube, is doing some, crazy shady shit. I exposed him, and it's just two levels. It's two different levels. And
See,
if anything,
again, if it were just like them, maybe, but they're tied into, again, a major corporation that the story didn't break on YouTube. It broke in Bloomberg, in a business website, a business news site. If they didn't have those ties, I would be like, you know what? They may just, we won't hear about it anymore. They probably get in trouble, but we probably won't hear about it. This thing is on CNN and Bloomberg and BBC. I don't know if they're gonna escape like that. I mean, if they do, God bless them. They got away with something that they shouldn't, and it's gonna be sad because they're going to end up still being able to do the shit that they want to do. They'll find another way to scam, and
I still
keep getting away.
think it's just gonna be a fine. Like, they're gonna go to court and just get a fine.
Well, they have to get fined because
Yeah.
that's a part of the whole thing anyway. They're gonna get fined regardless. It just has to again go back to the Valve and how much they're going to reveal and what the scale of this is going to be considered once the Valve investigation is going to bring to light. By the way, shout out to all of their shareholders who ran, unlike them.
Wait, you mean the people that are smart?
Yes. The shareholders have ran. I don't know who. They didn't say any names, but they say that it's apparently some well-known YouTubers who had stake in the company. But they
there was at least, there are people that are notable on both Twitch and YouTube that also were co-owners or had a stake in that company, that were smart enough to get the fuck out of Dodge. Speaking of which, that doesn't protect you. I just want to toss.
No, it doesn't, but
it's too late now.
Right.
It doesn't.
But I think that was more of a move of, they think the website is going to get shut down, so they're selling their stake in the company now.
Oh no, they're moving because they don't want to have to pay the fund. Because if you are a part owner, that fine, you can kind of be part liable. So Yeah.
And I want to make this point very clear. That site will not be going down. They will be told to fall within compliance or to shut down the site.
Right.
And so it's going to be up to them to find a way to fall within compliance. Whether it's
not hard.
Well, you got to get. Look, I'm not going to trust them with my goddamn driver's license to verify that I'm 21 or 18, excuse me.
Yeah, they're not smart enough to do that shit in the first place. The fuck I would
Like,
think.
how the fuck it. Like, that's the issue. Who are you going to
They
get?
can't protect themselves. How are you going to protect my information?
And the thing is, if this does happen, then what it then becomes is it sets a precedence for all the other CSGO sites.
Yeah.
And at that point, you'll see significant change within the CSGO gambling market.
And I think that's another reason why I think that they're going to get something, because I think they're going to be made the example. I think they get the lucky honor of being that site that the government or whoever is going to say, no, you did wrong, this is what happens. So all of you guys, we're letting you know now. This is the result. Get your shit together.
It's the same thing that I think is going to happen with H3. When their copyright case, if it goes to court.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to
You
get
think
to a
they're
point.
gonna?
No, here's the thing. The issue with YouTube and a lot of the stuff online is that we haven't really updated our laws in the last decade to reflect how the internet has changed.
Yeah.
Because of that, we need court cases to set precedents. To set, like, well, what do you do in this situation? What constitutes fair use on the internet, on a YouTube video? What specific guidelines have to be met? And because of that, once certain things hit, you have to fall in line.
It's weird for me because fair use, to me, is as clear as fucking day. If I make a movie, and that movie is about fucking zombies. No. If it's about zombies ruling the world and turning humans into slaves, and then Mike is doing a review about the fucking movie, and to explain some of the plot stories and to go with some of his points where he says the acting is kind of bad, and he shows a clip of a clearly bad acting actor, and then he goes on and tells more, and he's just showing small clips, few seconds, shit like that. That is fucking fair use.
And then let me ask you a question.
Take the movie and then upload it and be like, "This is my movie."
And let me ask you a question. To people that play or do Let's Plays, where do you fall? Because you're showing the entirety of the game, the story to some extent.
But okay, Let's Plays, and loosely, I'll say that loosely, Let's Plays fall under fair use for me because they're playing through the game and they're showing you how they're getting through the level. That's the same thing as a walkthrough without commentary. And instead of explaining, I'm going to jump here and do this, and this guy is going to come out the room, and then you shoot him in the head, they're just playing and reacting to it. But essentially, that's a walkthrough.
So I want to make this point to you. The statement that you made, I feel that that's fair use. That's the issue. The issue is that it can't just be because one person feels that way. There has to be a clear set of guidelines to say, because I make this argument when it comes to reaction videos, when it comes to Let's Plays, there's a clear distinction between a good one that you can argue is a transformative work and a bad one that isn't. There isn't
Walkthroughs can still get hit.
Yeah, and it's really
all the time.
Like there was back during the time, Notch was famously renowned because in the Minecraft terms of service, he included kind of a clause that said you can make walkthroughs and Let's Plays and YouTube videos and to make money off of this. He specifically went out of his way to do that, and that's why I'm saying, like, it seems really clear, but a lot of it is left up to the interpretation that until we start saying this is one or this falls under it, this doesn't, until we can say this is an apple, that's an orange, so no, that doesn't work, there's going to be arguments. Because what happens when somebody claims because we can go to my videos. I've had videos where I was given permission to use the entirety of a piece of media.
Right.
It was claimed by someone else that said that they also had those rights, or said that they might not have had those rights, or may not have at the time.
Right.
Where does that fall? Is if somebody else says it, or if, who is the rights holder in that situation? Is the person? And then keep in mind, you still have to prosecute that on a country-by-country basis around the world, except the United States is based here. Like, there's so many questions that need to be kind of broken down and to say...
I feel like it needs to be, like, set in stone for the people who are trying to abuse it. Because it needs to be set in stone for the companies that are, like, trying to be like, well, it's our property, and you're some small guy trying to come up. And it needs to be set in stone for the people who are like, he took my video and did this with it, I don't like it. Like, fair use, and like I said, to me, it's as clear as fucking day. Fair use is fair use. But the people who are trying to abuse it are trying to, like, well, because you took 10 seconds of my video and you're reacting to my video, I own your video, and I make money off of you now.
And it's the reason, and I guess, like, because it's the idea of, like, when it comes to fair use, there's any number of reasons you can claim. I think the clear-cut ones, I agree with you, are, like, reviews and criticism are pretty easy to spot. But when you start getting into the realm of, is something a transformative work, is it cutting into the profit of the thing in question, that's where you start to get to this really gray area of, like, how much is okay to show. Like, remember, the rule used to be on YouTube, or the unspoken rule was, as long as you use 10 seconds or less of a clip, you should be fine. The system won't really catch you, won't really grab you.
Right.
Now, if you post a picture, there's a chance you'll get grabbed. Like, you can very well get claims and strikes. And again, YouTube's system doesn't work based off of it. YouTube's system is purely, they get something saying that you're wrong and they take it down. So, like, it's this entire thing where the system is a bunch of, it's so unclear on things that there is this gray area that people have to wiggle around in. And because there's this gray area, like, yeah, developers don't take down reviews. Like, it's generally not a good idea. 99.9% of reviews are gonna fall under fair use. Saying that, like, there's still videos out there that don't fall under fair use.
Right.
Where it is essentially somebody uploading the video and trying to circumvent the rules.
Right, and that's the abuse that I'm talking about. When, like you said, it's being left up for interpretation. Like, if you are doing this for review purposes, then it's fair use. And then someone goes, look at this video, guys, or look at me playing this game. This is a review. But he doesn't criticize the shit at all. That's abusing.
But that's the thing.
Interpretations.
Theoretically, that doesn't necessarily, a review doesn't have to necessarily criticize the product. You just have to evaluate the product. See, like, that's where it gets really weird, because what constitutes...
Well, even evaluation is criticism. And I'm saying,
well,
like...
what if I'm playing a game and I go, yo, I think this game is really fucking good. Let me show you this level, and then I play the level to show you the level. Is that enough to constitute as fair use?
Like, and Modem, what I'm saying...
And again, I'm not trying to be, like, you know...
malicious.
Sketchy. You know what I mean? I just wanted to show you guys again. You know,
Modem, I agree with what you're saying, though. Like, that's why I say the people like H3H3 and all these other people, why these court cases are so important and why they're needed. Because when these court cases happen, it's going to go from being very gray to start being a little bit more black and white. Like, no, you have to follow this guideline. And even if YouTube then had to put something in place to say, if you are... Because this is gonna be a small tangent. Reactions. Most people's issue with reactions is the format. They feel that they're screwing somebody else out of views. Saying that, if it's a format issue, then that's what a rule sets up. You can only use X amount. You can show X amount. Because the word "let's play" has never been defined by Webster or by a legal document to say, like, Well, a
for
Let's
profit,
Play.
even going off of the reactions, for the format, right? You don't have to actually watch the original video. You can just go watch the person's reaction, and they got the video in the fucking corner. So that person essentially is losing views, and that's when there's a problem. If the person video was purely them reacting, and they go, if you want to watch this video, the link is down in the description, they would be fine.
But that's a
But
format
then it
issue.
goes to that term transformative. It's not purely just your video. You've transformed it into something else, technically.
And this is where
This is why, again, I understand what Prod is saying about this is why these cases are the things that's going to help shape this, actually.
there's a difference between good and bad. Because to those that ask about a reaction to like a full-length piece, has anybody here ever bought a DVD or a Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Director's commentary. That is all a reaction could be if somebody talked enough.
Right.
If somebody is making insightful statements and criticizing or evaluating the work in some way, it could be similar in that vein. But again, it comes down to people like to think of reactions as some dude sitting in front of his camera not saying a word.
Right.
And just staring at the screen and making faces or saying a few words every so often. It's like this distinction of what makes a good and a bad one comes from, well, you have to do this. In a Let's Play, you need to be talking for X amount of time. And for a walkthrough, you have to kind of in some way show that you're kind of... you have to in some way be doing a tutorial with it. And that's how they would start to fall under fair use. It's clearing up the areas where people can say, like, well, technically I'm not. Now, with the views thing, yeah, it's a really hard case to make. There is the case to be made. Now, I don't wholeheartedly subscribe to this, that the person would have never found the video without the react. Like, the video within the reaction could be used for context, and if you want to remove it for context, you could argue that just because they watched the reactor does not mean or watched the video within the reaction does not mean they would have watched the original video to begin with. Like, it's this idea that because you watch a reaction means that you're going, or you would have watched the original thing. As somebody that has talked with people, there have been plenty of times where people will say, I never would have thought of X, Y, and Z thing if you didn't mention this, or you didn't talk about this, or you didn't.
I think a good example is that 2 cups and the 1 cup and 2 girl thing. I've found out about it by seeing a link to a reaction, not necessarily the video itself.
Right.
I think, again, it comes down to good, and I argue this, it comes down to good versus bad content creation. Whereas, which sounds really weird, but it's this idea of you have to do enough as the content creator to make it a transformative work, to make it fall under fair use. That is your task. If you don't do that, then you're not protected. But that was a completely side tangent that I went off on. I apologize.
No, I mean, it fits because, like you said, this whole thing needs to go to court. It needs to be hashed out now, where they have to, the Valve thing needs to go to case. This thing needs to go to. We need to see exactly what the law states is right or wrong in this, so we can get these laws established properly. Because the internet's been something that it's kind of just existed. Even after all these years, they're still really slow reacting to implement certain laws, and that's why you see some things either go one way way too far or the other way too far, and it's like, no, we need to actually establish the letter of the law now for this.
Right. It definitely needs to happen. It definitely does. But like I said, even with that, it needs to happen, and we need these laws in place more for ourselves than we do for, like, more to protect ourselves than to, convict people of things. Like, oh, this is maliciously done, and so on and so forth.
Well, I mean, the conviction is kind of an important part in my mind, because.
But I'm saying, I feel like it's not needed it's not more needed than protection because people like game
No, but
companies.
you have to at least tell. I mean, put it this way: if you knew that you could steal from the store, and the store
Mm,
owner would just shrug his shoulders every time, and just like whatever, he's just gonna steal, you'd keep going back and stealing from that store, won't you? He
okay,
ain't calling the police on you.
right,
So having that rule, having that law, is kind of meaningless if no one's going to
If
well,
actually.
no. See, what I'm saying is this needs to happen to protect the people who aren't being malicious. Like when they were
I
attacking
understand what you're
Angry
saying,
Joe.
but like again, I'm not stealing from the store. You're stealing from the store.
Right.
So, you know, I
but
need
here's
you to stop people from stealing because I can't go to your store and get the product I want because you're always stealing it.
and what about the
Right.
cops that are just arresting anybody that goes in the store?
Right, and that's the
No, or
thing,
not.
you know.
They are
So I
stealing,
need
they're
to
not.
know that for them, you can't just keep doing like just because I show up, you think I'm stealing. You
Right.
can't just do that.
Which
That's why they be.
really
Both
does
sides-
happen within the.
Go ahead.
I just want to make this clear. This really does. To give y'all a very real situation, like I said before, I have permission to use shows from certain companies. I have another committee of people that decide that I can't, and they strike me. Now, knowing that they strike me, this is me being 100% transparent, knowing that they strike me and knowing that I'm in the right, they can strike me because YouTube system basically says, oh, we got a complaint, we're taking the video down. Not verifying
Right.
who owns it, not verifying whatever. I also know that nobody is going to take me to court. This Japanese company is not going to take me to court. So I, in turn, knowing the CMDA, copyright, whatever it is. I don't remember the thing all the time. Whatever. I respond to the claim with a counter notification. And in 14 days, because they're not going to elevate it to legal action, I get my video back. Am I exploiting the system? Yes, but the system is being exploited against me in a very similar matter. It's like this idea of, yeah, the system itself is completely flawed on every level. The idea is that I respond honestly saying that my work falls under fair use because of XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Send it off, have to wait 14 days or so for YouTube to decide, well, they didn't respond and say that you weren't in compliance, i.e. they didn't serve me court papers, and therefore it's okay. Yet I know I have permission from this other party to use what I'm doing. But again, like I
Right.
said, there are cops misusing it. There are people that I know that are uploading entire episodes. Why? Because you can go to places and look at an entire movie, an entire anime, an entire whatever on YouTube. People do it all the time, and all these third-party sites as well. There are people abusing the system on both sides, and like you said, Modem, these court cases are what's going to establish what is abuse. What constitutes you being in the wrong? What constitutes you being in the right? And then, like we started off, or like I started off with the CSGO sites, once the CSGO ruling comes, it then becomes all of you other CSGO sites have to fall in line with this. There are no
Right.
options. There are no guesses. You are the people that have to change your platform to follow, just like people on YouTube had to start including disclosure either in the video, in the title, in the description, because the FTC mandated it and said
Right.
that you had to do that shit. That's what's
I,
going to happen.
I guess this is where I don't understand. Like, okay, so where's the gray area in this? Because that statement you just made makes me think there's no gray area. You said the FTC mandated it, correct?
So let's talk about what they said. Their real issue is that they didn't disclose on the videos. They didn't prior disclose. They technically now have the disclosure on all of the CSGO videos because they've gone back and they've gone in. Well, now they have because they turned into just cesspools of horrible things. But basically, beyond that, their other argument into their transparency was that you could find publicly available documents saying, how often do you as a user look up who owns a website you're using? Anybody?
They can't avoid the fact that they were profiteering.
Yeah.
And on top of they didn't disclose it.
Exactly.
And see, I feel like there's more people that are like not being malicious and are doing things under fair use than there are people abusing it. And
There's always that.
Right. And
Yeah,
these
but see, this wasn't an issue of fair use.
no, it's not that. And I'm not talking about Counter-Strike Go in particular. I'm saying these laws. There's more people trying to do things right and fall under the law than there are people that are trying to abuse it because
I
it
agree.
hasn't necessarily been set in stone. And I'm saying these for the people, this setting the laws is more for the people trying to abuse it and to eradicate that. That's what I feel like this is more for. And this, if anything happens to any of these, and why these cases are so important, is to set in stone what is abuse.
Yeah. But that's the thing. All we were waiting for is somebody that was willing to go to court over this.
Yeah, I mean, and they've already established the law is they did abuse the system.
Yeah.
This all keep in mind, like part of the reason this came out was because some people argued that Valve was overseeing unregulated gambling.
Yeah.
Like the idea is that like this came down to this idea of like a group of parents called out CS:GO as a place for kids to, or was a unregulated. It's like an unregulated casino where anybody and anything can happen, and nobody is verifying. We're holding it to a standard. And again,
I need a direct definition of gambling because my idea of gambling was way different before any of this shit started popping off. People are like, "This
So
is
what is
gambling."
your definition of gambling?
From before any of this, it was more or less you put money in to try and win more money, and if you don't win anything,
I think that's where the word is. Gambling is basically it's not money; it's a prize.
Depends on the,
and
depends on the US.
that's what I'm saying.
Depends on the US.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. The definition of gambling, and even what people consider gambling, is like you put money in to try and win more money, and if you win, you get more money. But if you don't, you either break even.
Well, yeah. Now here's the thing, but that's the thing. Black Valve has always been around was able to get around it because there is a slight loophole. Because it's just a skin. There is no value to the thing. But again, things have value. Our money has value because we've assigned it a certain amount of the value of gold. We've given it was given a value.
I think you mistake what I mean, and this goes back to why I said their case is important first. Because of now, with the internet being the key issue, because you cannot physically hold a CS:GO item.
Yeah.
And all throughout history, it's been either money or material goods, right? That's gambling. You have to have a consideration chance and a prize.
Is gambling?
Huh?
I put in a quarter. Is gambling? I put in a quarter to try and win $100 TV, and I don't.
Okay, but this is again why I said this is starting to be a precedent because people have like with bits because it started too with bits too. People have to like try to figure out the whole thing with bitcoins and things like that.
Oh, okay, not
as well,
not those
because these are like it's not what we considered money by the definition of law right now, and these CS:GO things aren't prizes technically by the definition of gambling now. So what the Valve case is trying to do is this actually gambling because it's not necessarily fitting within what we have defined it. But now that the internet is in play, we have to determine it. Like, are we doing this?
Yeah.
Are we saying that it doesn't matter if you can hold it in your hand or you can spend, it's being used as currency, so can we define this as money? Because that's what money is. It's currency.
Yeah.
So this is where the Valve thing is coming in to define, like, are we calling this currency? Is this fitting as money? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if they do that, then all bets are off. Because, T. Martin and Pro Syndicate you've pretty much have been put in a worse position. On top of that,
I sent you a link to this, but Cornell University or the law division of Cornell University does have some stuff about unlawful internet gambling in the U.S. legal code. If you would actually like to read it, again, if you've never read legal code, it's a bunch of people using every word to make sure you can't do things. It's not a super interesting read, but if you wanted to read it, and with a kind of quick glance over, basically the statement of not being Valve saying that it wasn't worth anything, and this is where it has to be made clear. I think I heard this in another person's video. Because somebody made it so that you can cash out, i.e. you can turn those skins into actual money, it becomes gambling, like full-on gambling, because you can cash out. If you could never get anything other than skins, then theoretically Valve can always argue that it's not worth any money. But once you can cash out, it now falls under the gambling issue, which falls under unlawful internet gambling, which is a whole lot of law code that you don't want to read. Trust me. Because it then involves what states are you in, and then interstate law, and there's certain things that you can and can't do between interstate. It's a lot of stuff that people who are paid a lot better than we are will argue in court probably for a year to 2 years.
Oh yeah, they're not good. Nothing's gonna happen to anybody for a while.
It'll happen by the time everybody's forgotten about it.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think it's gonna be totally forgotten, only because, like I said, I think Valve is going to make it bigger than it is being involved. But YouTube, I do agree, this will blow over YouTube.
The only person that will remember this is T. Martin and Pro Syndicate.
Well, in other news, I don't know if y'all remember, but they were trying to regulate the internet so the big internet companies could, charge other companies to like have a high-speed data line. So if you wanted to watch, like, for example, if you wanted to watch Netflix, but Netflix didn't want to charge or didn't want to pay the internet's premium or whatever, you will only be able to watch Netflix in like 480p. Whereas YouTube was like, yeah, we'll pay the premium so you could watch YouTube in like 1080. I forget what the whole thing was called, but that didn't happen. It fell through. So that's a good thing.
Oh yeah. Like
it'll resurface. Always will.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I understand, it always resurfaces like every few years or something like that. So when it comes back around, we just need to make sure we're on that shit.
Well, now I'm curious to know this. Is this part of why we get these ridiculous internet prices?
No.
Well, see, that's another thing.
You don't think they're rolling the cost over to us if they can't flip it over to the company?
Right. Well,
if you want mine,
is because I feel like another reason is because the internet and just like PC is a public platform, and the reason why we pay for internet service is because it's a service. We don't technically pay for internet to connect to the internet and so on and so forth. People just don't connect to the internet on their own. But it's a public platform, and they're charging so much for the service because no one else is doing the fucking service. And then you got other companies that are undercutting them and trying to get into the game, but they got it like squared off, and it's not much where people can get into, or other companies can get into the market. So it shouldn't be charging this much, and they're trying to regulate a public platform, which it shouldn't even be able to do. And they shouldn't be able to charge us this much for a public service.
Well, that's why I was asking, do you think that they're raising, because, just about every year these companies are raising prices. Do you think part of that is because their biggest argument has always been bandwidth, 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 bandwidth? Okay, what the fuck ever. That's, no. I don't agree that you should be raising prices because of bandwidth. Is it because they feel like with these other companies making profit off of other services, which cause us to use it, they feel like they should get in their pockets. Because it feels like, to me, they're thinking they own the internet, so to speak. So when they come to these companies, like, yeah, you should kick us over a fee to be on the internet making money. And then when the government says no, they were like, well, fuck, we got to try to get some of this money out of their pockets. So let's just take it out of our customers.
I think I would honestly. I think it's part of that. It's one of those things that I would rather it be a nationwide regulated thing. And as much as people hate to hear the words, people pay more fucking taxes and we can get better internet, even though that probably wouldn't fucking happen because we can look at our schools and our roads. But that's what most of the rest of the world does. Like the places that have better internet than us, there are places that have similar situations to us where I think they do roll it over and they can get away with it because I mean, you can always ask the question, why is it that Comcast can give higher upload speeds, shitty download speeds, but Verizon Fios can match each number?
I think you got it backwards.
Now, Verizon matches each number.
No, you said higher upload speeds.
Oh, higher download speeds, yeah, but lower uploads.
Right.
But Verizon can match it. And their prices still aren't equal. Like, there is some... You're buying Comcast, so you're paying Comcast prices. It's the same thing, like, you can get really good internet from a no-name local provider, but you're also going to pay an arm and a tooth for it because of the fact that it is private enterprise.
Yeah, it's. I really wish somehow we could get to that state where it is a federal thing. Because again, I've always been the person who said I won't have a problem paying higher taxes if I get better quality of life for doing so. If like you could fix these streets, god damn it, these roads in this area are shitty. Like, you know, education quality goes up. Medical service and stuff goes up. If that's the price of paying more taxes, I'm in. You know, if being facilitated with public internet service, which, like you said, it's more of a public thing, but we're being charged by private companies. If they could make it completely public, I would be fucking all for paying more taxes. Because then I probably would get much better service, and I wouldn't have to worry about, okay, well, it's a new year, we're going to raise your bill, like Comcast telling me, we're raising your bill $20 because we think that you want to pay for the quality of service that you get. Get the fuck out of here.
And see, it's just like my switch because, like, Mike, you got Comcast, right?
Unfortunately.
Okay, and I was telling you, like, I got Time Warner Cable, and I haven't had any issues for the most part with Time Warner Cable. I had AT&T DSL before I had Time Warner Cable, and AT&T was trying to charge me, I think, like $60 for 1.5 upload and a 12 download, whereas Time Warner Cable was trying to charge me the same price for 20 upload and a 200 down. So I went with fucking Time Warner Cable. So the two, right, in comparison, Time Warner Cable is giving me a better service and for the same price. But also, it's shit like that. Like, there needs to be a pricing tier and so on and so forth. Like Edison, I believe there isn't any other power management company, if I'm not mistaken. But let's say electricity, how much people use electricity. It's this rate for this amount of time, whatever, this is your electric bill. And, like, as a public service, their internet service providers need to be classified under a public service. And their speeds need to be put into pricing tiers. I should not be paying AT&T for 1.5 upload and a 12 down, and in comparison to Time Warner Cable offering me 20 up and a 200 down for the same fucking price. That pricing tier is way fucking off.
Oh no, totally agree. Because I'm sure what I'm paying um, for Comcast, what I get is not what I would get if I if I could go with Verizon. Um, you know, I'm pretty sure if I had files, I could get a better deal for their internet than I would for goddamn Comcast. You know, but and then the fact that I'm in an area where I can't get certain service providers, like we, it's legal to not be in a competitive market when it comes to that service. How fucking ridiculous is that? You know,
Right.
it's just like all stuff like that. Internet definitely, they have to take a hold of it because it's just dumb. It's very, very dumb. It's like I can't even have another company that's good enough to compete with Comcast so that they would give fair pricing and they'd be more competitively priced. They can do whatever they want because
Yeah.
my other options are
Don't you want Cox?
DSL, huh?
Don't you want Cox?
Well, they're not. That's the thing. They're not here.
I
Well,
hate
and
that
here's the
word.
thing.
Nobody's here.
When
And
you say
like
better,
even I would take the AT&T being in this area as well.
And see,
Not
that shit has
necessarily
to
because I
go
would
too.
want them, but because at least having them here would give Comcast a reason to possibly change their policy. You know what I
But
mean?
see, that
is
shit needs to change too, where people can corner off sections of cities and shit and be like, only
Yeah.
AT&T can be here. That shit needs to change.
well, here's the issue. It also comes down to who's willing to lay down the lines. Like where my house previously has only like you could get Verizon DSL, but you couldn't get Verizon Fios. Like it takes us somebody has to be willing to be like we're gonna put down fiber optic, which again comes down to if the federal what are those things called? Federal subsidies were better off. You might see more startups um, investing in it more, but the cost of laying lines is so ridiculous that they don't. That they just don't.
Yeah, all of that
I
shit
have
needs
a
to
hard
go.
time believing that in this area Verizon isn't like their lines aren't here. One thing I've known for a while in this area that there are cases where companies negotiate and bid for the rights to be able to kind of quote unquote corner the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how the fuck do you sell somebody or bid on rights to
Can't do
offer
that.
somebody some fucking service?
Exactly. That's
Well, because you're thinking about this, because you have to think of it this way, rather than thinking of the offer somebody service. The government states that everybody has to have access to X service, meaning every piece of area has to be covered. If somebody else doesn't want that area, then again, because you got to keep in mind these companies are going to look for who can we get the most money out of. Like the
Right.
company that wants to spend a lot on money, I mean, get a lot of money in, but have a cover a small area. They'll probably get someplace like San Francisco, where you have a lot of people that are going to constantly want fast internet and are going to be able to pay it.
Right. But see, what I'm saying is, and I don't think you're like disagreeing with me, but I'm specifically saying that even though all of that is true, right? Why the fuck, if let's say some new company wants to rise up, they want to offer people the same speeds for less money. Why the fuck can AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, who the fuck ever say you cannot come in this area?
They can't, for the most part. There are very rare circumstances where that happens. What is said, though, is if you want to come in this area, you have to lay your own cabling, which the
Oh, and see, I
cost.
think this is where I guess maybe I should have been clear because a lot of the times when you quote unquote can't come here around here, again, the negotiation tends to go with the property owners. And if Comcast makes a deal with my complex, then
That's all you have.
Yeah.
But that's the complex making the decision, not you.
But again, it should not be a bidding war for that type of service. Like phone companies, I don't think have that same issue, or utilities. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. They don't say water companies can't put water here. They don't say you can't run electricity to this place. They don't. That shit doesn't happen.
Also, water and electricity are generally state run.
Right, but
and that goes back
to public service.
Make this they totally.
But that's the thing. It's still private enterprise modem. Like there's somebody that owns Comcast. There's somebody that owns Verizon.
Right.
Again, to give you an idea, in certain places in the United States, as of 2006, the cost to lay a mile of fiber optic cable, to lay like an install fiber optic cable by a mile, was $52,000 a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it gets to a point of being like, you see why, Modem, you and I can't be like, you know what, we're going to start our own internet business and fight with where are we going to have the type of money to lay that much or to service that big of an area?
True.
Yeah, but that's why I go back to the whole government. Right.
It's the issue is that it's not government controlled. Like if people can say I don't want all my shit controlled by government. I'm like, if you want consistent and reasonable opportunities, you probably do. Why? Because
even if it's not run by the government, it's like certain laws can, like I said, can be put in place. I just want for some shit where AT&T is charging me $60 fucking for DSL, and I can get better speeds with fucking Time Warner Cable for the same fucking price.
Welcome to capitalism, the world.
Oh, I agree. That's capital. And I think what I'm saying, and I think what Modem is saying, is that there needs to be a change in the system.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some pricing changes for real, because that's some bullshit. And especially the way the internet.
That's not going to happen because these
right.
companies.
Oh no, don't worry. Part of the reason I realized I had an upgrade in speed both up and down from Comcast is I found out that like this year Verizon Fios started moving into that neighborhood where my grandmother's house was, and so they boosted my speed to try to. They tried to boost my speed to convince me to stay.
Yeah, I swear to God, Verizon comes
now
here.
Saying that, it's not like my speed didn't slow back down after like 3 months, but that's something else completely.
All I need is Verizon to be like, yeah, so you can get your 50 up because I don't care about.
Or you can be smart like, look, Black, I've already talked about this. You and I hit up. We can move to Charlotte. Google Fiber's coming. I'm just
Charlotte's cool.
Right. I'm trying to move to San Jose, my nigga.
All I'm saying is like people trying to look. All we come down to is we split up the services half and half. Like,
well, see,
we get internet together, then one of us pays for the NBA.
Enlighten me on this. I thought the reason Google was only going to certain areas was because other internet companies wasn't letting them into the market or into the area.
Okay. So I think it had more to do with they had to prove that there was a desire for it almost. If I remember correctly, I could be completely wrong. Or Google was just choosing where they want to start it. But at this point, there's enough of a desire for it where Google is also... The difference is the number I threw out there of 52,000 a mile, Google's like, so we spend that on like an hourly basis, if that.
Right.
So, yeah. Sure, go ahead and lay as much as you fucking want, and yeah, we'll put them out of business and make more money because we're Google.
Right.
And I, for one, bow down and accept our Google overlords. Just please give me fast internet.
Like,
wait, isn't it in Los Angeles now?
I don't think so.
No, I'm on Google Fiber's site. Looks like it's coming to Los Angeles.
Let me get some fucking Google Fiber, bro. Like, seriously, let me get some fucking Google Fiber.
Now, what we need is, honestly, we need, again, government-regulated fiber that is just going to be widespread to everybody.
Or not even so much, what am I trying to say here? not even government regulated, just some laws. Just give us some fucking laws that says these motherfuckers cannot charge us fucking hundreds of dollars for.
But that's the thing. You can't do that in a capital. You either regulate it as the government or you don't touch it because of how capitalism generally works. Like for them to specifically say like you can't price it this way is going against private enterprise. Specifically like saying like you can't, they have control of their businesses and can price things however they want. Which is why it would have to be government regulated if we wanted to regulate the price.
Honestly, I think
makes
it's eventually going to have to go that way, though, because internet's becoming more of an essential thing. It's too useful.
It's a fucking public service.
It can be used as, if used properly, of course, a good educational tool. It's a good communications tool.
Damn. Sorry. I was looking at the cost of fiber, which isn't that bad.
Cost of what? Google Fiber?
Yeah. $50 a month is up to 100 megabits.
Bruh.
$70 is gigabit internet.
Hold on, what?
If you so Black, are you still on their site?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the
Go to like
gigabit.
if you go to Charlotte, here I'll pull it up on my screen right now.
Yeah, no,
if you go to Charlotte, you can look at Charlotte, and you can get gigabit internet when it gets there for $70 a month. No data caps. And
but even
all right, another
TV thing. Did you see the TV pricing?
Oh, so for those wondering, a real quick story: why I only have internet at.
Did his mic go out again?
I think
Yep,
so.
it did.
Yo, Pride, your mic is muted. There you go.
But no, for $130 you get over 220 channels and gigabit internet.
Damn. That's not bad.
That's ridiculous. They said no rental fees for your router or your TV box. You just paying.
See, that's exactly what the fuck we need. Somebody to come in and undercut these motherfuckers and provide some fucking competition. Because, yo, I don't think Prod knows that his fucking mic is, like, fucking up.
He's probably ranting.
Like, he's probably just going on.
Oh, no, I saw it unmute and mute again, so he's probably fucking with it. But yeah, no, like, that's, to me, that's competitive pricing.
For real.
Hello.
Yeah.
Is it me you're looking
like,
for?
Like, the lowest tier is 100 megabit.
For
That's
$50.
Insane.
No, but here's the thing.
And that's what, 100 megabytes up and down?
Yep.
I believe
it says it, no. Up to 100 megabits upload and download speeds for $50.
Yo, I'm so in there, bro. Like,
nah, in all Black, yo, in all seriousness, if you want to hit up Charlotte and Google Fiber or Atlanta, either one, like,
it's funny. I saw Atlanta. And I'm
down. Look, Black, I'm down. If you're trying to,
y'all want to start a streamer house?
Look, I already made. Look. We split the bill for like internet, and then like if somebody wants NBA, one person does NBA, one person does NFL.
Wait, I ask people HBO because I need my Game of Thrones.
I split Game of Thrones with you. Game of Thrones don't shit out to fucking watch. Especially after the way. I watched the last episode of Game of Thrones because it was like the first episode in like seasons that was relevant to me.
Nah, they kind of all led up to this big event. Because you said the last episode. Did you see the episode before?
Yes, I saw the last 2 episodes.
Goddamn, the Battle of Bastards! Oh my god!
We're not gonna even. But no.
Woo!
Beyond that, I'm just saying. Look, if we all find
a terabyte of cloud storage,
don't ask questions.
What?
Look,
what?
Anybody out there that lives in Charlotte, I'm looking to move into your area. I will pay reasonable rent. What? I'm about to look up the cost of living in Charlotte.
Oh, it's not. It's pretty decent. My sister lived there for years. It's pretty decent, and they're continually growing. Um, so yeah, I mean, I used to love going and visit there. I have to say, Charlotte is a nice city. For real.
Motherfuckers is just incredibly arrogant and ignorant at the same fucking time.
God damn.
Uh-oh.
People on the fucking internet, man. People on the fucking...
All right, Black and Modem.
What? What's up?
There is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with 1,300 square feet for $1,300 a month. Look, between 3 people...
Oh,
shit, that's a 2-bedroom apartment here.
That's a little over $400 per over 3 people.
Yeah.
I'm just arguing and saying we can come together with $400 a month.
Oh yeah, we definitely can.
Look,
Yo, that's crazy.
Let me stop. Like, I would too quick. Like, if I saw a place that I reasonably thought I could take care of, let me get Google Fiber. Man, I will be streaming, uploading on a constant basis. I just be uploading videos to upload a video. Be like, hey, yo, here's a 50 gig video. I'm just gonna upload it.
Oh nah, I would be doing like fucking streams out the ass. 24-hour streams would be on point all the time.
For real, that shit crazy.
All the time.
Just the thought about it is like insane. For real.
That is. All right. Any more subjects?
Go check out Fury and Paragon and Evolve.
If you got an Xbox One, even if you don't own it, you can get Red Dead People Friday. Right now it's what, $7.50 on the
and
Xbox
Mike,
Live?
the Splinter Cell isn't available until the 13th.
Oh, till the 13th. Boo!
All right, so I guess I should ask you, did y'all see that picture? Somebody tweeted it out. I want to say I saw it from UTX, The Prophecy. There was a picture, and just a random last question. And it had 4 developers. It had...
I know.
It had Blizzard.
That's the Blizzard, Rockstar, and Naughty Dog. If one had to go, which one?
Yeah, so this is a passing question. Who would y'all drop?
Say it again?
Bethesda, Blizzard, Naughty Dog, and Rockstar. I think I know Modem's answer.
Rockstar. Fuck.
Let me see if I can find the tweet.
Blizzard. Let's do this by top games. The publisher's top games.
All right. Blizzard, you're gonna say StarCraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft. Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto, Bully, Red Dead.
Bully.
From Naughty Dog, Crash Bandicoot,
Uncharted, Last of Us,
Uncharted, Jak and Daxter, and then Bethesda, Skyrim, Fallout.
And the id games now. Like,
what has Bethesda? I know there's... Fuck.
Yeah, like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and
didn't Bethesda make
Oh, and South Park. No, South Park's Ubisoft. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is who developed Mass Effect?
That's EA through BioWare.
Okay, never mind then.
But that would also be, if you went BioWare, I mean, you're talking Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. I think I would choose Bethesda. I think so. Out of all of them.
Funny, because Chase asked that on this podcast, and I said Bethesda, and everybody looked at me like I was strange, and I'm like,
fucking shitty-ass RPGs. Look, I'll be the one to say it. People can get mad as fuck at me. Shitty-ass RPGs.
Well, I'm not going to question the quality of the RPGs. I do question the quality of some of their production. Using the same engine from the last gen for your new game, it's poor until you start upgrading your engines and things like that. I can't go with that. Plus, I'm not really a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series or the RPG version of Fallout. So, they just don't hit that mark with me. I would say this: it would be ashamed if they didn't find a way to give it its own You know,
I'll take Doom and Wolfenstein and all that. But I'll take Doom and Wolfenstein. Yep.
yeah, I want the id games to still exist, but I could live without Bethesda. They do nothing that makes that big of an impact to me.
I wanted to know if for those wondering, mine's pretty simple. You would think it's either Bethesda or Rockstar. I don't care about either one of those two developers like that. I loved Red Dead. Oh yeah, I forgot Rockstar also did Max Payne, but even still, Red Dead, and then like Black said, id games. And for those that don't know, I don't like RPGs from Bethesda. Anybody that thought that I would ever get rid of, what's it called, StarCraft and Diablo and World of Warcraft and Overcrack now. Nah. All right, I just wanted to ask the question. Just wondering.
Nah, I completely, get it.
I just always find that interesting to see, like.
It's funny because everybody else on the other podcast was saying Blizzard. And I think that's because they're not that familiar with them.
And Blizzard has what again?
World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, and then they have a bunch of older properties.
And see, a lot of their stuff is PC, so
yeah,
I think that's where a lot of the unfamiliarity comes with.
A lot of people will say, "Well, there's Overwatch and Diablo."
Yeah, like those are probably the biggest.
Well, those are the
console games,
right? But I think definitely, Bethesda is the best pick because their shit like resonates with people, but it's just not hitting like that for me.
I just say it because I know it pisses people off, but I don't think Bethesda makes. I'm not a fan of Bethesda RPGs. That's a simple way to put it. Give me a Witcher game over a Bethesda game, and I'll be happy.
I can't really think of anything.
And to everybody that disagrees
that I really played. Like,
to everybody that disagrees with me, you can go buy the Skyrim remaster that's coming out.
That's funny. All right, so Modem, I have a question for you before we go.
Okay.
When are you getting back on YouTube? Goddamn.
It's funny you should mention that because I'm working on the video like right now. I actually made a video already. I have it uploaded. I just haven't released it yet. And I should be back like relatively soon. Like next week, I should have some videos out. I've been like working on it. Like, dude, my life has like completely turned around. But like now, I'm even more fucking busy than I've ever been. Like, I was working. I work at Walmart now, and I started off with part-time, getting like around 28 hours, like 24 to 28 hours, to moving past the maximum of 32 to like 34, and averaging around 66 hours every 2 weeks, which is damn near full-time. And within, like right after my 90 days, they promoted me to full-time. And I just made fucking employee of the month. So, like,
congratulations, Modem. We're proud of you.
So it's like my life has just been like hella fucking busy. So I've been like coming home and like working on videos like an hour a day type shit and still trying to do everything else. So, point being, I don't have as much time as I used to have, and I'm trying to time manage as much as possible and get like the content out. So I got one video made. I'm making one right now, and I just have to release them, I guess. I'm working on streaming. I want to stream Diablo because I've never played Diablo.
Oh fuck! Don't make me buy that game on PC again.
Well, I'm having it on Xbox One, so you have to buy
okay.
Xbox. So you're good.
Speaking of Black, if you wanted to buy an Xbox One, I could sell you one for a good price.
Oh my god. Is Diablo cheap on PC? Because I wanted us to do a Let's Play. Everybody's...
Oh, I'm sure it has to be. I mean, the game is almost
Don't
5
assume.
years
Blizzard's
old.
like Bungie. They don't give a fuck about time.
That's why you go to Amazon. You say fuck them and not go to them. Because they can go to hell with that. Blizzard, I love you. You make great games, but fuck you. You be price gouging.
Yeah, as far as I can see, it's like $20.
22.
Are you talking about the base one or the new one?
I guess the base one.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know if
This
this.
not Reaper of Souls. Is it Reaper of Souls or just Diablo 3?
Well, Reaper of Souls is 1964.
Nani?
But that's just the expansion by itself. Boo.
Nani?
I'm trying to see. Fuck.
I'm down if y'all get it.
Huh?
I already got the,
Oh,
I already
that's
got the
what-
base game.
Diablo 3.
Diablo. Oh my god, I love that game. I've loved
I'll
it.
buy it like right now if y'all want to do it.
Reaper of Souls is only $19 though.
I'll probably
But
just buy the
that's
base
like-
game for right now though. We can do like.
I mean, I already own the base game.
Right. I mean, I'll buy the base game.
And if I might make the recommendation, you can get the online game code off of Amazon for $20 and get it
Yeah.
now. So if you're gonna do it, it's actually less. It's likely cheaper to buy.
Yeah, no, if I were to get it from Amazon, I would do the code.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
saying you can get the code actually now for the base game cheaper than you could.
What's that website people be using to
Nope.
get stuff cheap?
Nope.
No, it's okay.
All right, I will speak of it, but
Hold on, let's do
Fuck
the
that website.
closeout stuff and then we'll
Fuck
explain.
that
That
website.
That's gonna be another long thing.
Fuck that. website.
Okay.
Prod, what are you doing first?
I'm gonna keep bashing my head against the wall against Fury. I don't know how long that game is. We've gone through 5 bosses, and we're basically at the end of the 6th one.
Is that the game you was playing where I was
Yes.
like,
Fuck that
Kanye
game.
West made this game?
Yes, fuck that game. For those that don't know, it is Bullet Hell meets Shadow of the Colossus.
That sounds fun.
Oh no, it's not fun. I should clarify. I love those type of games. It's a boss rush game mixed with a bullet hell. We'll be playing through that, and then that will all be uploaded to YouTube. If you don't have the opportunity to come through to the stream, due to doctor recommendations, I am no longer streaming every single night. I am streaming every single day though, when possible. No, basically, I'm not supposed to be staying up super late, so I need to get sleep. Beyond
Well,
that,
I mean, you can stream every day. You just got to get your ass to bed.
exactly. Beyond that, I've been getting into the summer anime season started. We're covering 15 or so shows, I think, maybe more. And a bunch of those are up. I'm not covering a lot of the reviews.
What is
until
Diablo 3 specs? What is the recommended specs?
So beyond that, I'm trying to think what else is there that I am not thinking of that I'm doing on the channel. More Enter the Gungeon probably coming soon. Is there anything else before Black takes away the power again? No. I'm gonna try and pull up some gameplay if I can before the show ends, but go ahead, Black.
All right, so thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it as always. Everybody's links will be in the description. Yes, Motor, your link's still there. It's not going away. So you do something, they're gonna know. So feel free to subscribe to both of these gentlemen. And I think that about does it. Let me go find some food and chill out now. Again, thank you. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Peace.